बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम।
शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो रहमान और रहीम है।
इक़रा बिस्मि रब्बिकल्लज़ी खलक़।
पढ़ो ए नबी अपने रब के नाम के साथ जिसने पैदा किया।
खलक़ल इंसान मिन अलक़।
जमे हुए खून के एक लोथड़े से इंसान की तख्लीक की।
इक़रा व रब्बुकल अकरम।
पढ़ो और तुम्हारा रब बड़ा करीम है।
अल्लज़ी अल्लम बिल क़लम।
जिसने कलम के जरिए से इल्म सिखाया।
अल्लमल इंसान मा लम यअलम।
इंसान को वो इल्म दिया जिसे वो न जानता था।
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope that you are fine and you are enjoying with your studies regarding the paper preparations. Today, my dear students, you know that week number 7 and video number 7, and I would like to discuss about the revision of all the contents which are the part of midterm and which is the part of paper. So that's why first of all I will give you the review of all the units which we have studied in previous videos and its content and its important topics for your best preparations. So first of all I would like to discuss about the first unit which is a part of your reading and study, contemporary realistic short stories. Contemporary realistic short stories, you know that it is the stories about which we have written about it. It means what is the features of contemporary realistic short stories, you know in previous videos, but today I am going to highlight again for you that what are the features of realistic stories and why we are going to write such type of stories. Stories is also the part of literature, and these type of stories gives us the information and highlighted the issues and conflicts among the peoples, and authors write such types of stories for those peoples and those peoples who are interested to read them and highlighted the issues, and then after these stories they have to solve the problems of society. So that's why it is a very important source and to read out the problems of society and convey the message and then solve it. So now I am going to tell you about that what is the features of contemporary realistic short stories. First of all, we have to write its introduction. You know that we must start any story with the topic sentence. Its beginning is with the topic sentence or its introduction. It means we have to write its main sentence, means it is very compulsory in stories that we have to write its introduction. Whatever in your mind, what is your subject, what's your point on which you are going to write on. And second is the rising action. In contemporary realistic short stories, we have to write the rising action. Rising action, it means the beginning of action. When you are when you wrote the introduction, after all you have to write it rising action. Rising action means the beginning, means the starting of action. Then you have to write its description in writing rising actions. And then you have another feature that you have to use the use of adverbs, and you know that adverb is a part of speech which modifies the verbs, adjectives and itself. It means adverbs. So that's why we have to use the adverbs in short stories, realistic short stories. Then we have to use the third person. We have used to write it third person, or sometimes we have to write its first person or third person, we have using it. And then actions that happen quickly one after another. It means we have to write the series of actions which are connected, which are unified with each and other. It means we are very careful about the times, means we have to write first action which is happen before and then after. It means it is the series of actions that involve a few characters. It means characters are most important in stories. Without characters we cannot complete our story, our information. narration. So that's why first of all author has decided that he must select the good characters about that story. So that's why we have to decide the characters, and you know that characters are divided into two categories. Number one, round characters, and number two, the flat characters. Round characters are the main characters which contains on the hero. It means in literature language we can say that protagonist. Protagonist means the hero of a story, and then antagonist, it means the villain, and then heroine, and other characters which are very compulsory are rather than the flat character. Flat characters for a while and means they are less important characters, but they are also the part of writing a story. And then sessional incidents only. We have to write only sessional incidents in contemporary realistic short stories. It means you keep in mind that you write only sessional and very attractive incidents which are related to your story or related to your issue. It means you avoid beating about the bush in your story. And then part of theme or point view that flows through the story. It means it is a very compulsory part that you have to decide its part or its plot. It means the circumstances or issues you have to gather the knowledge about all of them, and then you make a plot about that story. It means you prepare a background for writing a story. So that's why it is a very important, and then you have to write the description of that plot through the characters. And third point is that climax. Climax means the peak of story, means the highest point of any action is called climax. Means it is an other and simple language we can say that it is an interval. It means that type is called climax. That is a part of story. When we are going to write a story, it means first of all we have to start its introduction. It means the rising action, and then its descriptions and incidents which are very related or essential for that story, and then in mid or in the mid of that story we have to write its climax. It means climax means the conflict between two parties or two persons are on issue of anything. So that's why the climax means the most exciting or intense point in the story. So that's why we have to write it. And then resolution, and resolution means the complications or crisis which you are going to describe in your story, and then it means the ending point of the story with a conclusion. So that's why these are the features of a story. And now it is a question that what type of language you are going to use to write a story. In a real story means use of past tense in most of the story. It means in a most part of the story you have to write the past tense, and you know that time has divided into three phases, means the present, past and future. It means when we are going to describe any events which are happen in the past time or in a certain time which is past, then it is called past time. So that's why in past tense you have to use in a story, and use the present or future tense at appropriate points in the story. It means when you are understand that this is a very appropriate time, it means you are convey something, or a character of a story suggests some points about the future, then you have to use the future tense or present tense. And then the use of either the first person I and we. You know very well that the first persons I and we have to use, and then you have to use third person he, she, it and they. It means where it is necessary you have the choice. You may use the first person I, we, or you use the third person he, she or they. The use of action verbs, it means you have vocabulary such type of verbs which contains on the actions. It means these stories are we are going to write in narrative or descriptive style. So that's why we have neutral action verbs, means action. Without action verbs we cannot complete the effectiveness of the story. And then the use of adjectives and adverbs to create the picture of characters, events and setting. It means setting is a very compulsory. It means in what time you are going to write the story, in past or in future or in present. So that's why you have to set out it first and then you start writing. And then the use of direct speech to show the characters are saying or thinking. It means you have to use the direct speech. As you know, in narration we have the two types of narration. One is the direct speech and number two the indirect speech. So avoid and write a story in indirect speech, but you have to write in direct speech because it is easy to convey the ideas and thought of the writer or one who is going to write the story. So it is the preview and structure and the language of contemporary realistic short stories. So that's why I have completed the first unit's review, and then you have to study. It means you have the areas of study for your paper of midterm, and means you have to study its preview, overview, reflecting. It means reflecting. You have concentrate on its reflecting, because reflecting questions are very important, and other things you have focus in your study, that reading for details, because it is also the part of your paper. Means reading for details, and means we take some questions from reading for details. It means such type of questions, what happened when Mariam moved her head while she was playing the game. So that's why reading for details. It means you search out its details from your extract, means a new land extract, which gives us a very good idea about the contemporary realistic short stories. Means it has a good characters. Mariam is a character of this story, and then you can see its plot, rising actions. So that's why it is the best example which shows you the realistic stories pattern. Then means you have the first point, keep in mind that reading for details. You focus on this question, reading for details, and then reading for meaning. It means from this extract you have to point out the meaning, that what is the meaning of this extract and why we have studied such type of extract, which gives us the good idea about the realistic story. And then reading for ideas. It means what is your idea for this reading, about this reading or regarding this reading. So that's why, who do you think the Hesketh is? It means this is a question that you have to think about, that what is the idea of this person. It means what's your opinion about this character, that why he asked this question, who do you think Hesketh is, and why do you think virtual reality games are exciting for people. It means what's your opinion about the games are exciting for people, for some peoples, or entertainment of some people. So that's why you covered these all points in this chapter, in this unit. And then after it is the main part of this chapter, this unit, that you have to write a summary. And keep in your mind that you always keep the features of writing summary, because writing summary is a very essential part of your paper. So that's why you have to write your summary. Means summary means 1/3 type of the original text you have to write in your paper. So then you focus on writing on summary in your own words, but grammatical mistakes are not ignored in your paper. So that's why it means you have to do the practice a lot on this technique of writing summary. And then you have the vocabulary. After the reflecting, vocabulary, and after summary, vocabulary. Vocabulary is a essential part of your paper. It means you have to memorize all the related words which you have studied in your extract or in your realistic, contemporary realistic short stories. It means all words you have to memorize in English into English, and then you also try out and to understand the meaning in your own language. So that's why it's also a main part. And then dictation. It means from every unit you have the passage for dictation, so you have to go through it. It means you have to memorize it, and then you have to dictate it. So that's why it means this passage is only given to you for your better listening and effective listening, that how you listen that dictation passage, and then you have to write in your paper or on write down in your answer sheet. So that's why it means an other part and other element of your study, dictation. Then new word, it means reading extract. We have the new word in first unit, which I have told you the brief sketch, that it is for only the review of contemporary realistic short story. So that's why I hope that you understand that. And then understanding question answers through the reading passage, new word, and then its overview and preview, and then summary writing and writing workshop. The final technique or final object which we are discussing, it is the writing workshop. It's up to you, and in content solution you also find there that we have given you these such types of workshops which are written on different topics, different situation and different issues. So that's why you have to write the writing workshop, means you have to practice on your writing workshop, means it has many topics and many the issues are many conflicts that you have the topics of interest which you are going to write on. So I hope that you have to understood this unit number 1 for revision, and now the topic number 2, the unit number 2. Now, my dear students, the top unit number 2 informative text means we have studied unit number 2 informative text and video number 2, and you have the sound knowledge. It means you have observed this video. And now, what is the informative text? As I have told you about that, informative text is such piece of writing which gives us the information about any event, any occasion, or any entertainment, any sports, or any type of writing which is written before us, or which is professed by any writer. So that's why this type of informative piece, it is called information or informative text. It means such type of text which gives us the detailed or descriptive information about something or anybody is called informative text. So that's why in this chapter you have study about the informative text and its structure. It means the structure is very commonly written in this book, that when we are discuss about the contemporary realistic short stories, it means we have to write its introduction, means again we have to write its introduction, means introduction is compulsory to write any topic in English language. So that's why. And informative text may be contents on the articles, newspapers, books, social studies, encyclopedias, whatever the source of information before us is called informative text. It means text is a writing or paragraphs or passages which we are going to study in the different forms of information, in different forms of writing pieces. So that's why. An opening statement, when we are going to start the informative text, we have to keep in mind that first of all we discuss its structure. Its structure contains an opening statement, it means the introduction. Secondly, classification or definition of the subject. It means now we have, it is very compulsory that we classified, we define that topic which we are going to write its information. And then a series of paragraphs, means the coherences between the paragraphs is very compulsory, and paragraphs which begin with a topic sentence. It means you relate all the paragraphs about that topic, which is your topic or which is the author topic, and then which previews information contained in the sentences that follow. It means they contain the informative sentences and concluding paragraph and the use of photographs. It means if you have a requirement of using that you are going to elaborate your informative text through the photographs, drawings or diagrams, it means you can show them. And then language. What type of language we are going to use in informative text? It means the use of third person. It means now you have no choice to use the first person, as we have the choice in first chapter contemporary realistic short story. So that's why, and here we have only used the third person, the use of formal style. I told you that there are two types of language. It means one is informal and one is formal. It means you have to use the formal language when you are going to informative text for someone. And frequent use of the present tense, and sometimes you use the present tense and the use of past tense when describing related past events. It means if there are some related events which are concerning with past tense, it means you have to write such type of sentences in past tense of obviously. The use of action verbs, again the point number this point we have already discussed in contemporary realistic short stories, that action verbs are compulsory to write anything. And then the use of scientific, geographical and technical terms to indicate precise meaning. It means you have to use such type of scientific, geographical and technical terms to indicate the informative text pieces. And then the use of language that is specific to the topic. It means you have to use the accurate language when you are prepare the information text. So these are the points which we have to observe in this unit number 2, informative text. And then in this unit we have the extract which we have studied, the rapid change in communication. It means it is the highlight of rapid change in communication in this chapter, in this extract, which is gives us a good idea about the very quick progress of the communication and satellites and technology. So that's why from 1980s means we have discussed all the revolution, all the changes which are happened in the technology. So that's why in this extract we have studied about the rapid change in communication, as I told you in brief video number 2 about the rapid change in communication. From the telephones, I show you that from wall set, magnet wall set and dial telephone till to the mobile, which came in 1980. It means it is the first test changing in the rapid in communication. So that's why means why we are studying this passage, this extract, because it gives us the information about the technology and that how it is going to be changed very quickly and very fastly. So that's why in this chapter you have also concentrate on reading for details. It means you do not ignore this topic, that reading for details. You have to study about reading for details and then reading for meaning. It means you try out and understand in your own language that what's the meaning of this passage and why we have studied such type of piece of information in unit number 2, which gives us the idea of about the technology. And reading for ideas, it means what's your idea about the rapid change in communication. So that's why it means it's your own and personal perception. And then writing a summary. Writing a summary, here are some few steps which we are going to follow. The writing a summary means read the descriptions again you have to read the description, and for each paragraph write a few words to sum up what is the paragraph is, and then you try out the main facts. It means you have tried out about the differentiate between fact and opinions. It means you avoid from the opinions, but you have to write only the facts about that topic, and then use these notes to write the first draft of your summary, and then you make them in a sentence. You write them the sentences and edit your summary that you use least number of words. It means you have to use the least number when you are going to prepare your summary. So that's why you concentrate on the summary of this rapid change of communication, its words meaning and its extract for dictation, and understanding the question answer summary and writing workshop also, and reflecting questions also you have to study. And now I am going on the unit number 4, informative brochures. make criticisms. For you. In unit number 4, we have discussed about the informative brochures. Brochures is also a type of information which we have to write in communication and conversation in order to highlight any topic or any very heated issue of the present time. So that's why it is all about. It means information of variety of topics can be found in brochures, books and magazines. It is also the source of advertisement. In informative brochures, we are going to advertise some books, some information pieces or magazines or products. So that's why we have to write the brochures for that purpose. And as written as a procedure with descriptions, it means we are going to describe the products and its features and its attributes, and we convince the customers that they buy, or we convince them to read out that book which we are going to write its description in the form of brochures. And then now the how its structure, how we are going to prepare the brochures. It means in a structure we have the title, means first of all you have to make the title of the brochure, that what is your title. It means first of all you have make your idea about the title, and then aim, goal or purpose, that what's your aim, that's what's your purpose or what's your goal, means what's your objects to write the brochures or prepare the brochure. And then section introduced with the topic sentence. It means when you are going to write its section, you have to start with the topic sentences. Headings and subheadings, you have to write the headings and subheadings in informative brochure. And then bullet pointed and list. It means when you are going to write its features, you have to write in bullet forms. It means in the starting of sentence you make the numbers or stars or any other sort of bullet. So that's why. And then possible use of diagrams, tables and photographs and flowcharts. It means if there is a possibility to show the diagrams, tables and flowcharts, it means you can use in brochure. And language, and what type of language you may be keep in your mind and write. The use of simple and direct language. It means you do not use the confusing language when you are prepare the brochure. And then frequent use of imperative sentences. It means you have to use the third type of sentence. It means imperative sentences, as I told you in previous videos, that imperative sentences just like write down this thing, do not do this. It means go to your parents, respect your parents. It means do not buy, do not eat such type of things. It means these things are not cursed. So that's why this type of sentences, it means command or example, say this, don't speak this or speak this. It means again explain this. And so these are the type of imperative sentence. It means you have to frequent use of imperative sentences in brochures. And then use of the adjectives and adverbs. It means it is very compulsory that you have to use the adjectives and adverbs, because adjectives is such type of word which show the attribute of noun and effectiveness in brochures. So that's why this type of language you have to use in brochures. And then you have to use reading for details. It means in this unit you do not ignore the point reading for details, reading for meaning and reading for ideas. So all these topics are including in this unit also. And then vocabulary, which is the part of your this extract. And then we have read out the passage or extract, make criticisms work for you. And this is a very important reading extract. In video number 4 you have to study, and I hope that you understand. Make criticism works for you, and that means how you control your ideas, how you control on your body language when someone going to criticize you in your life. It means first of all, if there is a criticism on you or on your actions, so first of all you have to ponder over it. It means you think about it, that what kind of criticism somebody is going to do about your life or your actions. So that's why. And control your temper. It means when somebody criticizes you in your life or in your action or in your performance, it means you do not hyper at that time but control your temper. It is a very difficult task, but you try out and act on fair criticism. It means if there is a criticism which is in your favors of life, in your betterment, in your progressive, it means in your constructive type of criticism, then you must act on it. It means then ignore the unjust criticism. If there is somebody who is going to show you down, who make you down in your life or in your action or performance, it means you think that it is a very unjustly criticism for your life or for your in your favor. So that's why that type of criticism you must ignore it. And then the topic is that ask for explanation. If there is a doubt in such type of criticism, that destructive criticism somebody is going to do about your actions or to do about your life or to do about your personality, it means you ask for explanations. It means you have to write the ask the question, ask the explanation, that give me the explanation, sorry I do not understand your these type of sentences. And then use humor. When you are going to ask the explanation, you use humoristic words. It means that sometimes you show your soft words and so that one cannot justify your character at once. And then show your confidence. When you are going to listen that explanation, it means you control, you increase your confidence. It means show your confidence. It means you don't lose your confidence. So that's why it is the positive factor in order to improvement of life. And again, in this chapter you have to focus on reading for details, reading for meaning, and then in this topic and other technique which is increases now, explain these words from the passage in your own words. Means it is also the part of your question paper. When we are going to make the paper, it means this type of questions we will give you. Explain these words from the passage in your own words. It means you have to read out these type of passages are extracted again and again for understanding, for meaning purposes, and then you have explained such type of words: malleus, hypersensitive, nonce, and discredit. Means line wise you have to going to explain it. And then reading for ideas, and then writing summary and writing a workshop is the compulsory parts of your text. And then now I am going to discuss about unit number 5, recounts. The topic is recounts, a description in a newspaper or a magazine and that tells you about a film, movie or television program before it is called recounts. So that's why a journal description, and it is about the diaries, biographies, autobiographies, news reports, letters, books and TV documentaries can all be presented as a recounts. So its structure: an opening statement introducing the topic, giving essential background information. It means when you are going to write its introduction, you have keep in mind that first of all you have to collect your essential or related information for using background information, and series of events in chronological order, and it means you have to use the series of actions which are connected with each other, and then recounts of true events and information. In recounts you have to write out true events and information. It means you do not include the false informations or unreal situations when you are prepare the recount. And cause and effect identified in events. It means you have another technique which is follow in writing recounts. It means cause and effect is very necessary, that what is the cause and what are the effects of that recounts. And then specific participants identified. It means you have also mentioned the specific participants in that recount. And optional quotes from participants and witnesses. It means you have to collect the evidences and quotes from the participants which are present at that time. Means it is also the part of recount. And then a conclusion that may give a different view about the topic. It means you have to write its ending point with the different ideas and different results. And optional personal comment about the significance of the event. It means you have to write your own and personal comment to justify your topic, justify your recount, justify of that piece of information. So that's why these are the features in structures of the recount. And then language, it means it is a very compulsory question that what type of language we are going to use the recount. It means the use of the past tense. It means here is the first point that we have to write recounts in past tense, and the use of action verbs, and it is a common from unit number 1 to unit number 5, and the use of the first and third person. And I also taught about you that this is also the common that we have to use the first person or third person. The use of connectors, it means this is a new thing that we have to use the connectors. It means like after, when, as soon as, in the end, and etc. It means many types of connectors we have to use and connect the sentences or ideas, events or cause and effects during the preparation of recounts. And then the last point, the use of connectors with cause and effect, such as because and result of, and then consequently. So that's why this type of connectors you have to use in your recounts. And then you have the topic reflecting. It means reflecting and think about these questions, share your ideas with your classmates, and it is a very important topic, and that is you do not ignore this this topic, reflecting. And then we have a very good extract for reading, which gives us the recounts. It means we have the, again we are going to read about some personality of the history, means 3000 or 5000 years ago. Means the Iceman is such type of extract which is written by Natalie Jane Pryor, which gives us the type of recount. So every extract gives us and supports us the unit's topic which we have studied. Means that we are going to study in these units. It means now the Iceman is what type of text is it? It means it is a recounts type of text. Means here is the recounts. It means first of all this reading or this was happened at that time, but an other writer put his pen and then start writing this this extract of very history, the very history of the world. It means about the fabulous frozen man found. It means it is started in this way from 19th September, and 5003 years ago, and the Iceman was discovered by a few people, that is Rika Simon and then his husband, German climbers, on 19th September 1991. So that's why you have to study and you have to go through this extract before going to solve all the summary and question answers. And then again, these are all the topics are same. It means you have to write about it. It means in this the fabulous frozen man found, and for to point number 2, scientists learned about ancient people, that this is also the type of recount. And the who was the Iceman, means this is the question that who was the Iceman. And then last finally we have the comments about that topic. It means it is the structure which is given in this passage, and it's a language which is related to the recounts language. And then understanding the text, reading for details. It means it is the main topic you have to go through. And then reading for meaning. It means you have to study these questions and give meaning for the following words and use in passage. It means it is also the part of your paper that give the meaning of following words as used in the passage. It means you have some words which will given you in paper, which will have you given in your paper that process. And then forensic, confirm, glaciology. It means you have to describe according to the passage meaning. And reading for ideas, it means you have to go through and then you take the idea of this reading. And then writing a summary and then writing workshop is also the part of your paper. And then we have the last unit number 6, reviews. And then today's topic is also review. Then what is the review? Review pursued readers to react. It means, my dear students, you know very well that reviews pursue readers to react to writers' opinions about a topic. It means whatever writers wrote about topics, it means a review pursued them, review attract them, and then when writers review written works, performances, places or products they describe and analyze, it means the components then express their personal opinions about the works, performance and places and products. So reviews often found in newspapers, magazines, and the purpose of review is information about something or somebody. So that's why this type of passages or this type of text is called reviews. And what is the structure of review? It means the future of review. Introduction, what is being reviewed? It means first of all you have the topic present before you. Then you have start its review. It means you are going to analyze it. So that's why introduction, what is being reviewed, means you are going to review it, you are going to analyze it, you are going to make it criticize. So that's why it means first of all, and that thing before you is compulsory, present before you, it is a very compulsory. And then background information about the text, performance or product. It means you have to study that thing and then you will be able to write its review. Otherwise, without reading, without understanding its purpose, without its understanding its aim, without understanding its aim, without its understanding its feature, it means you are not right, you are not able to write its review in a positive way or in negative way. In performance review, and then the names of playwrights, and then overview of plot, main performers and directors, means it is these types are included in such type of the structures that we are going to review them. And language, the use of present tense to provide background information. When we are going to present its background or essential information, we have to use the present tense. And then writer's point of view and recommendations. It means we do not ignore in this topic, in this reviews, the recommendations and point of view, that what is the point, what is the message of writer who wrote this book or this who made this product. So that's why we do not ignore or we do not leave it behind. So the second, the use of future tense in writer's prediction of future developments, means what is the prediction, what is the suggestions about the future. So that's why it's about the book or its production. And then the use of the first person to give personal opinion, and if you are ready to give your personal opinion, then you must use the personal pronoun or the first person. And the use of second person to comment on reader's involvement. If the reader's involvement you are including, you are make the part of a reader in that page, that review, it means you have to write the second person of such type of sentence. And frequent use of informal style, it means now you are informal in your language or in conversation are going to write the reviews. And then the use of connectors of condition like even though, and connectors of contrast like however and while and although. It means this is a very compulsory. So this is the feature, these are the features of reviews. And then question is that reflecting, and I all told you that reflecting, you do not ignore this point. It means think about these questions, share your ideas with your classmates, with your friends and with your neighbors. It means if there is anybody present for your help. And then we have the extract. In this unit number 6 we have studied about the unit number 6 reviews, and then preview, overview, reflecting, and then vocabulary and features. I described the features, and then words, meaning, dictation, and then reading extract is Chinese Cinderella, and it is a very beautiful story, very attractive story about the Chinese Cinderella, reviewed by the Nancy Batson. I told you that this book is originally written from Chinese Cinderella by Adeline Yanma, means this book is written by Adeline Yanma and extracted, reviewed by Nancy Batson. Means now you get this point that originally this book is before the Nancy Madsen, and Nancy Madsen going to review it of this book which is written by Adeline Yanma, namely Chinese Cinderella. The book name is Chinese Cinderella, and this is the extract which is taken from that book, and then Nancy Madsen reviewed this extract. So you have to gone through and understanding the text, and then what do following words and phrases from this review means, and so that's why you do not ignore this these types of information, and understanding the text, and then question answers and vocabulary, and then the writing workshop. So main these are the points about the paper and reviews about the midterm contents. So I hope that you have understand all these revision points which are related to the midterm paper and midterm contents, and very easily. Now I tell you about I would like to express that you have to make your index according to date wise. It means first of all you make the contents, and then you write all the units in such type of form. Means first semester midterm content 2020 English language, and then you have to write the units name, and then date wise you have to show in your index. It means as we write in the copies index, it means date wise, lesson topic, page number, remarks and teachers, and you will submit your copies in administration block for checking purpose. And then after all you have to make the closings of close these contents of first semester midterm content 2020, and it is your experience that how we close the content of midterm or first semester or second semester midterm or final. So that's why in the last of the copy which you have done your complete your work, and after all at the ending it means you have to write the closing, means you close your contents. First semester midterm contents close means you have to write the units which we have studied, which we have described and its features, and then you have make out the 3 columns which is written the teacher signature and remarks and stamp. It means when you will submit your copies, means these columns, and do not forget to make them in your copy, means teacher signature, remarks and stamp. It means when I will check your copies, I'll signature here and then remarks CPT or means complete work or incomplete work, and then I do the stamp here. So that's why you have to complete your copy in this way. I hope that you have completed your copies and you will submit as soon as possible at the reception desk or in administration block. So this is all about the revision of midterm contents, and I hope that you are going very sincerely, honestly, and do your work and then memorize and prepare yourself for the paper which will conduct on the 15th September 2020. And may Allah bless you, and may Allah increase your knowledge. I hope that you will be enjoy your study at your homes, and inshallah we will meet again through the video classes and next session. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz.